have here?
We're back after a 3-week hiatus.
Are back in the podcast. I was about to say the podcast studio, but I can't say that. I'd be lying.
There's no studio.
But would this be considered a studio?
You're looking at a table.
But technically, wouldn't it be a studio?
I don't know. I feel like studios have good acoustics and stuff, and we don't.
That's true. Welcome.
And electronics.
From our
and
office.
We don't. Yeah. Welcome from the office. That's it.
To episode number 20 of Off Angle.
Should be 20. Yeah.
It's 20. I confirmed with myself before you got here. So there's no more, what episode is this crap? This is
right.
episode 20.
Yeah. You're on it.
And we are back from 3-week hiatus.
3-week hiatus.
Where we had
2 weeks of training camp.
Yeah, 2 weeks of training camp, and just I mean, we're back in it we're back in the pro hockey schedule here, and it's been busy. So we're fired up to be back in our office to record this podcast for everybody. And we missed it, but it's good to be back, Stu.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
I figured we could kick off this podcast with something completely not hockey related, but that will be a familiar topic to people who have listened to us in the past.
All right.
And this is we'll see where this goes. This could be extremely short or extremely long, knowing you and I. But I want to just briefly bring up some NASCAR playoffs. And if you're watching this episode on YouTube, you'll notice that I'm wearing my Menards 12 hat. And if you are a NASCAR fan at all, I would assume you at some point tuned in to the second of 3 round of 8 races that occurred yesterday.
Homestead, Miami.
Yeah. Where the
great track, by the way.
Yeah, I liked
it. So
it.
fun to watch.
Yeah, awesome. Boys get so close to the wall, it's insane.
Yeah, it was good racing.
Yeah. Where you would have seen the Menards 12 have a really good race where he all race long he was stage 1. I think he finished P4, stage 2 P5, and by I know because I watched it.
After qualifying like P27th or something like that.
P20.
P20, yeah.
I think Byron was the one. No, yeah, Byron was 25 and Logano was 26.
Yeah, right.
Those are the 3 lowest qualifiers for the playoff drivers.
But Logano's locked in, so it doesn't matter for him.
Right. Anyways, so I feel like we just got to bring it up because it's just, I mean, obviously you're a diehard NASCAR fan. I'm a new diehard NASCAR fan. And my driver had a great day, but didn't win. And my driver can only blame himself for that, I think.
I was going to say, I think it's worse because your driver had a great day, but he made a mistake on the last lap, and against the best drivers, you can't make any mistakes.
Yeah, I saw an Instagram post from NASCAR, and the caption was like, Blaney drops his golden ticket to the round of 4.
He did.
How do you, as an athlete, it's like, how is he going to recover from that to be able to race less than a week from now and just forget about that?
I think you just have to. It's just all part of the mental toughness of sports.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be really I feel like it's going to be very mentally tough for him.
I think the good drivers, they make mistakes, and then the next week they're just not afraid to send it again.
Wow.
Right?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like all athletes that you can say that about.
Right.
All
right.
of the
Good
best
point.
athletes, right?
Right.
Which, I mean, Blaney did win the championship last year.
He's a good driver.
Which is me bragging about my driver right now.
He's a certified good driver.
And he did say in his interview, he's like, yeah, I've gotten better at, and I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, I've gotten better over time at just letting this kind of stuff go and moving on to the next race. But easier said than done, in my opinion.
Much easier said than done. But I think that's a commonality across all really good athletes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things I appreciate about Kyle is that he'll make a mistake, spin himself out, and then the next week he's pushing it just as hard, which I think for every sport is important.
Yeah, 100%. Short mind. We've talked about it numerous times on this podcast.
Yeah, like even golf. you hit a bad shot, you can't pull your swing on the next one. You just got to send it the same way.
Yeah, and golf might be the hardest sport to do that, from what I can tell.
That's what everybody says, but I always make the argument that golf, you control the ball.
Yeah, but
you get to hit the ball every time. When you're playing goalie, you don't know what's going to come at you next.
Right.
Right? So you directly affect the ball. So that means you have the power to change it. Goaltending's different because you don't affect what's about to happen to you. You can only read the situation and play the percentages on it.
Okay. But put yourself in the mindset of a golfer who cares about golf as much as you care about hockey, and then try and hit that perfect shot.
I don't know. I feel like you just got to send it, right? You just got to do it again.
I don't know. I don't know how hard it is to hit a golf ball.
I've never played high-level golf.
You never
right.
What?
Never played high-level golf.
Right, same. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how hard it is for that athlete, and I'm talking about like a PGA Tour golfer or live, to hit, say, like, he's got to wrap one around a tree 200 yards and land on the green. I don't know how hard that is for him with no pressure. So it's hard to say how difficult it can be mentally to have to do it after hitting a bad shot.
I don't know. We need one of our golf guys on here to settle that for us.
We need Troy McTavish on here.
Yeah, we need Troy McTavish. He would know.
He would definitely know.
Because, see, when I golf, when I hit a bad shot, I don't care because I know I'm terrible and I never practice, so it doesn't affect me. I'm like, yeah, this is what you get for never practicing or playing golf.
Right.
You know, it's just on me.
Now imagine you have thousands of people in person watching you hit that next shot, and then millions on TV, and on top of it, maybe you're on the 18th green and you're in first place winning ahead by one stroke, and there's a $2 million purse sitting in the bottom of the hole for you.
I think you just trust your ability and send it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That's
right.
I just think it's harder to do than just to say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But anyways, so as a Ryan Blaney fan, as a number 12 fan, awesome race to watch him do well, make his way up from the 20 spot. And like every other NASCAR race, just an absolute roller coaster of emotions. Like literally on the last lap, because don't forget, Denny Hamlin was ahead of the 12 on the restart.
Yeah, but he overtook him pretty easily.
Right, but still.
Which led me to believe he's got the best car now.
But not only did Denny Hamlin take him over, he actually, on the restart, the 12 dropped like 4 spots. He was behind the 9, the 11, maybe the 45, if I remember correctly.
But then he made up for it.
And got ahead.
So my first thought was, he's got the best car. He's unbeatable if he drives mistake-free now.
Right, agreed. So it was like, the restart, he fell back. I'm like, oh no, here we go. Then he went ahead. I'm like, oh my God. Like he's in first place.
He's locked in.
Now we're on the last lap. My wife is standing up. She's so excited. I don't even think she cares. She's just excited because I care.
Right.
My kid is up. Everyone's pumped. I'm sitting down. I'm like, this is not done yet. And sure enough, they went around turn 3, and it literally looked like the 45 had 2 engines in his car going by the 12.
I think because the 12 slowed down so much.
Right, which he admitted to. He's
he
like,
looked
I had
like
a really bad
he had a
lap.
piano hooked up to his car going into 3.
Yeah.
I looked down to eat a bite of my taco because I'm like, this race is over.
Right.
I'm just gonna look back up and Blaney's gonna be crossing the line. Good for him. Let's go. He's in the final 4.
Yeah.
I look away, take a bite of my taco, look back up, and the 45 is in front. I'm like, what happened?
You like erased the text you were going to send to me saying congrats?
Yeah. I was like about to hit send.
Yeah. So anyways, I just wanted to touch on that because we care about that, which no one else does, so which means we should probably move on. We good there?
Yeah.
Do we need to talk about the 5?
You got it out.
Do we need to talk about the 5 almost like needing a new car because his tire blew up and then he went to the wall, and then he started
other way around.
He hit the wall and then his tire blew up. Okay, so which is because they raced so close to the wall, right?
Yep.
So they put his car back together, and the guy goes from the back of the pack?
Yep.
Which is what, 38
He was like
cars?
37th or something, wasn't he?
And then he makes his way up into the top 5.
Yep.
What did he finish? P4?
No, I want to say 7th or 8th.
That guy can drive a car.
But that's a guy, makes a mistake, cuts his tire on the wall, just sends it.
Yeah.
He was upset because he was saying how bad these next gen cars are
because
over his radio.
So he was saying that he got into the wall because of the car?
No, he's saying, how can a cut tire destroy my diffuser that bad and almost put me out of a race? That's stupid.
Yeah, that is stupid. They don't we know this. We know the drivers aren't necessarily fans of the next gen car.
No.
For multiple different reasons.
I've never heard a NASCAR driver say I like the new car or I like the organization of NASCAR.
Right.
And that's where I'm going
to leave it at that.
Yeah.
One more question about NASCAR. Do you think if Kyle Larson was driving the 12 for the last 10 laps of that race that the 12 car would have won?
I'm not even going to answer that one because
Why?
you know the answer.
Yeah. I think you would.
100%.
I think you would. It doesn't mean, and I'm not sitting here, I'm like, it just is what it is. I'm not chirping my boy. I just think.
But if Seabell was driving that car for the last 10 laps, he would have won.
Probably. I'm a little less confident about Seabell compared to Kyle Larson.
This one's going to get you, but most likely if Joey Logano was driving that car, he would have won. Joey's a two-time champ. He drove mistake-free at Vegas.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Including saving fuel.
I'll go on the record and just say I cannot stand him. So I'm just going to leave that one alone.
I know.
I personally think Ryan Blaney is the best driver in Penske.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, mostly, yeah.
I don't know if you agree with me.
I'd say right now, yeah.
Okay. Anyways, we should move on. Good here?
Yeah, Joey wasn't even in playoffs until Bowman got put out, so there you go.
Right. Okay, hockey.
You got to remember, we play a lot of hockey, so sometimes to talk about something other than hockey is nice.
Yeah.
But we love hockey.
We do love hockey. But we also talk about it every day.
We do.
At the rink and whatever, right? So
we do.
It's kind of nice to just sit here and talk NASCAR with you for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we're not forcing anyone to listen to this. This is a choice.
Right.
And every platform has a speed forward 15-second button, so they could always just hit that.
So if you're not interested, I would cut to you about 12 minutes and 30 seconds in.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I was thinking too? You know how like certain podcasts you can click on like sections of the podcast?
Uh-huh.
We got to figure out how to do that to help people with this. So you could title like the first 12 minutes of this
I
one
haven't
like
figured out how you do that yet.
NASCAR BS, and people will be like, all right, just go right to that.
I'll have to look up how you do that.
Okay. All right. Next topic here. Haven't done much research on it aside from the stat line. I don't know about you. I feel like you've watched maybe a little bit more hockey than me in regards to the NHL this year. So maybe I'll let you voice your opinion on my note here of Hellebuyck and, for the record, Eric Comrie.
Yeah, both. Yeah, both goalies.
And the Jets are off to a hot
7-0
start. I believe 8 because...
Yes, 8-0.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll just read the stats here, and then we'll go. Connor Hellebuyck, to this date, which is the 28th of October, is 6-0 with a 166 and a 940 save percentage.
Yep.
Is that any good?
That'll work.
And Eric Comrie is 2-0 with a 3 goals against average, which a lot would say is not good. But he's got a 915 save percentage.
Yeah, which is good.
Which is great. So yeah, I don't know. Like why is this? Like I feel like everyone's kind of almost shocked that the Jets are 8-0 right now.
I don't know. I think they're a good hockey team and they play the right way. I mean, didn't they give up the least amount of goals last year in the league?
Yeah.
So part of that is goaltending, but a lot of that also is how you play.
Don't they have a new head coach this year?
They do, and I don't know who it is, but I feel like Rick Bowness did a good job with them taking care of the defensive zone, and they just win a lot of hockey games that way. Now, obviously, in playoffs, they didn't have their best.
Oh, it's Scotty Arniel, Winnipeg legend.
All right, so he has the boys playing the right way, is what you're saying.
Yeah, Scott Arniel was involved with the Moose way before the Jets came back to Winnipeg, and I believe was he not the assistant coach for a while for the Jets too?
Don't know.
And wasn't he in Columbus for a little bit?
Don't know.
Anyways, people like him in Winnipeg. This guy also looks very familiar, Marty Johnson. Anyways, I find it interesting. That's interesting. I find it interesting that the Jets, in my opinion, have been a very good defensive team with 3 different head coaches. Mm-hmm. So to me, that says either the management staff, which would be Kevin Cheveldayoff and Craig Heisinger, and Larry Simmons, either prioritize defensive-minded coaches, or Connor Hellebuyck is nasty. And I'll let you go, but I don't watch enough hockey to confirm that the Jets play great defensive hockey or that Connor Hellebuyck is just stealing games.
I think I think it's both. I think Connor Hellebuyck is very good, and I think the Jets play great defensive hockey. But this coach has only been 8 games. Mm-hmm. But the first 2, Paul Maurice, first of all, is obviously a phenomenal defensive coach. You just watched the Panthers last year. Mm-hmm. Great. And then Rick Bowness made the finals with the Dallas Stars after taking over from Jim Montgomery. So he's obviously a really good coach too, and they play good defense also. And I've seen clips of Rick Bowness talking to young guys like, hey, I know that the scoring will come for you, but I need to know that I can put you out there and trust you in our zone. In the defensive zone, I need to know I can put you out there and trust you, and you're not going to get scored on. I don't care how much you score, because that will happen as you're playing the game and you're playing the right way. So I need to know, can you play in your own zone and know where to be and not get scored on? And I think that shows that he prioritizes that. That means guys play the right way, and obviously that leads to less goals against and more success as a team, because now you're turning pucks over in your zone. You get to go on offense. If the other team's cycling for a while and you're out there for 30 seconds while they're cycling, by the time you get out of the zone, you can't go on offense because you're tired. Now you have to get off the ice.
Right.
So I think it's, long story short, it's a combination of both. Hellebuyck is good, but I think also the coaches that they pick are very good coaches, and they prioritize playing the right way and not cheating the game and developing players to play well defensively.
Yeah, and then I mean, you put a team that takes as much pride and focus into team defense as the Jets clearly do, and then you give them Connor Hellebuyck. That is a recipe for success, which is probably just what we're seeing here.
100%. I mean, and then you look at teams like New Jersey, who we have said before we're not confident in their defense, and then people talk about how skilled Jack Hughes is, but we watched a clip last week against Detroit. He's out of position defensively. Detroit scores.
Yep.
He doesn't know where to come back to in his own zone.
Mm-hmm.
So being skilled can only take you so far in the game of hockey.
Yeah, it's not rocket science.
You got to know where to be in your own zone first.
Yeah,
and then you can make plays off that.
I feel like young hockey players. Maybe that's just my brain, but I think the evidence says it's a lot of young hockey players. They listen to all these things that are like, in their minds, cliche. Well, a lot of it is cliche. What's the definition of cliche? It's like said
just
a lot.
Used over and over again. Yeah.
I think they take all these cliche defensive opinions from coaches, and they just don't believe in it, and then they don't buy in.
Or they don't focus on it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're offensive and they're skilled, they want to score goals.
But why would, if you're enough, let's say you're like Kyle Connor or Mark Scheifele, like how beautiful is it that you play in a defensive system that allows you to win games, but also create opportunity for you offensively to do what you love, and that's put the puck in the back of the net.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And we would say even that being in the right spots defensively creates more chances.
It does.
Right?
100%.
Because you're going to have the puck more, and you're going to be in spots to transition fast.
Yeah. Yeah, the last thing you want is to be an offensive-focused team and not put any focus into defense, and you spend your entire shift chasing a puck around in your own end, and you never get it, and then you just get frustrated. You're not spending any time in the other end.
Right.
And
by the time you get it, you have to change.
Yeah, and again, this is all cliche,
but
it's all true.
It's cliche for a reason, though.
And this is why I don't like the New Jersey Devils.
Right. This is why you don't like the Devils, and this is why you were nervous for Markstrom going there to begin with.
And how is he
And then we watched Markstrom get scored on by the Detroit Red Wings because New Jersey's first overall pick, who has been there for what, 3 years, 4 years now?
Yep.
Doesn't know where to come back to in his own zone.
Right. Devils are doing very good right now. They're 6-4-2.
Yep.
So they're off to a pretty good start. Look at their goals against. They have 30. Okay, so in the Metropolitan Division, the New Jersey Devils are currently in first with 39 goals against. The New York Rangers are in second with
16. Yeah. And
That's less than half.
They've
Stu.
played 4 more games. Devils have played 4 more games.
Oh,
But that's still less
okay.
than half. They've played over half the.
Still.
They've played 8. New Jersey's played 12.
Yeah.
But that's still kind of a lot to give up in 4 more games. You got to think the Rangers have given up. They've given up 16 and 8. That means they've given up 2 a game. So if they play 4 more games, they're going to give up 34.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the goals for and goals against differential between the Devils.
No, I did that wrong. 24. I don't even know. What did I say? Okay, hang on. They've given up 16 and 8 games. That means they give up 2 a game. If they play 4 more games, they'll play 12 games. That means they'll give up 24. So when they play 12 games, they will have given up 24 goals, whereas when the Devils have played 12 games, they've given up 39.
That's a big difference.
That's a huge difference, yeah.
The New Jersey Devils have 44 goals for and 39 against for a differential of 5. Right?
Yeah, whereas the Rangers are plus 18.
Oh, I could just go right there. Okay.
Yeah.
I was doing the math.
There is a differential column, but I like that you're using your brain.
Okay, so that differential, what would be the terminology? Okay, goal differential. Oh, man.
There's
it's
a column
amazing.
for that
It's
and a
amazing I
name
know how to
for
put
it.
my pants on. Differential for the jerseys. Oh, my gosh. For the New Jersey Devils, plus 5. Goal differential for the New York Rangers, plus 18. In my opinion, the New York Rangers are a very good team defensively and therefore offensively. So
Right, yes.
that's a good hockey
Defense
team.
leads the offense.
Let's look at some other good hockey teams. The Winnipeg Jets have a goal differential of plus 20.
Yep.
Okay?
And they've scored 36, by the way, in 8 games.
And
And
given
they've-
up 16.
They've given up 16 and 8 as well.
The Golden Knights, plus 14. These are all like division leaders that I'm spitting.
Yeah, right. But they're division leaders for a reason.
Ooh, this is interesting. In the Atlantic, the Florida Panthers are currently sitting in first place with 2 games in hand from the second place Tampa Bay Lightning
Yep.
with a goal differential of 0. 33 and 33.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I wonder what that's about.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay's played 8. Florida's played 10.
This is kind of a point in the season though where like, okay, they've played 10 games. Like if you have 1, maybe 2 really bad games within that for whatever reason,
Yeah.
it completely these stats get
All of these are going to even out eventually.
relatively. I
Yeah,
think.
they're going to even out.
So anyways, Connor Hellebuyck is off to a good start. The Jets are off to a good start.
Ottawa Senators are 8th in the Atlantic for anybody keeping score at home.
I know of one guy,
They also have a goal differential of 0.
which is interesting. Isn't that?
But instead of being 6 and 3, they're 4 and 4. So,
Yeah, that's a tight division, eh?
it's a tight division.
A lot of teams at 500. Oh my gosh. There is what is that? 6 teams with a 500 or that are sitting at 500.
Yeah. This will all even out. Everyone's played different number of games.
Yeah. Okay. So the Jets and Hellebuyck are off to a hot start. In our opinion, from what I'm gathering, the reasoning for this is because of a good defensive hockey team with
Yeah.
some stellar goaltending.
Yeah. I would just say guys who know how to play defense, bought in defensively, and they score when they get their chances. I mean, you see some of their goals, they create turnovers and make nice plays on the rush, and they score.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Moving on. Next point here.
not taking anything away from Hellebuyck. But
No.
you saw what happened in last year's playoffs when he has to do it all himself.
You can't.
No, you can't.
Can't do it
Right?
all yourself.
I mean, they were giving up like 5 goals a game.
So would you say that having a good goalie doesn't mean anything if you don't have a good defensive hockey team?
I would say having a good goalie, it's very tough. You're probably not gonna win a championship if you don't have good defense.
Can you do good in the regular season?
I think so, because you can outscore teams.
Right.
You can't outscore teams in playoffs.
No. Can't fill the net in playoffs.
No,
Stu.
that's what John Tortorella says. You can't fill the net in playoffs. And you see it. Guess what? People say what? The Oilers were 1 goal away from a Game 7 Stanley Cup. Yeah. You're not winning playoff games 7-1.
No.
You can catch teams on bad nights in the regular season and win a game 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen in playoffs.
No.
So then it comes down to how good are you in your own zone. Both teams are going to have skill offensively. Everybody in the NHL can score. So it comes down to how good are you positionally and how good are you in your own zone.
Yeah.
And how willing are you to be good in your own zone.
Do you think the difference is between playoffs and regular season? Is it that the players just care so much more, or is it the preparation that the teams are able to have for the upcoming game that causes it to be more tight scoring?
Well, it's probably a combination of both, but I think number one is each game matters so much more, and there's only a limited number of games left. So, and if you aren't ready or you aren't dialed in, you're going to be done.
Yeah.
So I think it just creates a whole other atmosphere. It's not game 55 on the road in Utah.
Right.
And it's like, well, we just played last night. Now we're on the road again tonight. My legs are a little bit heavy. You just have, I think, so much adrenaline, and you have rest each day between. And if you lose, you're done. So it all ramps up in playoffs.
Yeah, I was thinking the rest thing too. Like for the most games you have, or most teams in the regular season do have a day between their next game, right?
Yeah, but the NHL does play back-to-backs.
Right. But in playoffs, I just feel like there's even though it's later on in the year and guys are beat up and the games are tougher, so guys are even more beat up, you have more time to prepare for that next game.
Yeah.
Because you're also playing against the same team.
Yeah, and you're playing the same team.
Right. You know where you're going. Like if it's game 1, I know that I know where I'm going to be for game 2 and 3 and 4.
Right.
So I think I think the care level goes up, obviously, but also I don't think you can underestimate the preparation factor.
No.
Like you can look at another team's, like going into playoffs, let's say you're going and you're going to play Tampa Bay in the first round. You can spend the next week or a few days, whatever, preparing for their power play. And
right.
That's the only power play you're going to be facing for at least the next 4
couple
games.
Weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think so too. I think it's easier preparation-wise. But I just think in the room, the intensity level, even before the game and just being in that atmosphere is so intense that it just transitions right onto the ice.
Yeah. And leads to lower scoring hockey games.
Yeah. And closer games, no matter where you are in the standings.
Yeah. Okay. This episode is brought to you by Vita Era Hydration. Vita Era addresses 2 critical issues for a healthy lifestyle. First, throughout your day, you lose essential vitamins, minerals, and electrolytes. Whether you're taking a walk, working out, or engaging in any energy-intensive activity, Vita Era replenishes these nutrients without the processed sugars and artificial additives like sucralose or aspartame found in many hydration products. Instead, Vita Era uses stevia, one of the healthiest natural sweeteners, to provide a refreshing taste. Second, with 60 to 70% of our bodies made up of water and 75% of people chronically dehydrated, it's showing that we're not drinking enough water. As an additive to water, Vita Era encourages you to increase your water intake. Vita Era is a 3-in-1 solution. It provides your everyday essential vitamins and minerals, green tea for enhanced performance and recovery, and electrolytes to maximize hydration efficiency. Each serving includes 500 milligrams of potassium, equivalent to the potassium content of a banana. Stay hydrated. Drink Vita Era. Next topic here. I've got Juice and the Preds with their slow start. I did make this note prior to doing some research and seeing that they're now 3-0 in their last 3 games.
Yep, they played the Chicago Blackhawks in one of those, so shout out to the Hawks getting them going.
Yeah, a little kindling for the fire there.
Yeah, but when I watched those highlights, the Hawks actually didn't look bad. UC looked like he played really well.
Okay, I was going to ask you if you've been watching any Juice highlights.
Yeah, when I can.
Yeah, and he's looking pretty good. He's not chasing around like crazy.
That game, no, he wasn't.
Okay. I wish I did more research prior to this podcast about Juice and the Preds, because we've talked about it in the past that when Juicy's off, he chases pretty bad.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
And he uses, it's almost like, and it looks crazy to me because he's so fast and so like athletic that when is chasing the game, it's wild.
Yeah, the thing about being so fast and athletic is that you can get in position fast, but you can also take yourself out of position really fast and really easily.
Yeah, very easily.
So it's good to have the athleticism and it's good to have the speed, but you also got to have the control with it. And I think when goalies or when UC isn't feeling his best, the control I don't know what word I want to use, but the control part of his movement kind of falls off a little bit, and I think he's just flying around trying to stop the puck really hard instead of just letting the game come to him and being in good spots.
Yeah, he just his area that we call the box, his box just gets bigger when he's off.
Yeah, I mean, your athleticism is obviously a huge strength.
Yeah,
but it's a huge strength when you play within the net and the crease, and you're moving around in short spurts and just getting into position all the time over and over again. It can become a weakness when you use it to take yourself out of position. Then maybe you have to dive back across and take yourself out of position again, and now you're chasing the game, and it's difficult to play that way.
Yeah, but it's interesting because he does have like the athletic capability of doing that, but more often than not, it's going to result in more goals going in than if he was playing inside of his box.
Right.
Which I think his box is a little bit bigger than ours, even when he's on. And I don't know why that is. Maybe just he's just really quick. So maybe most successful NHL goalies, from what I can tell, their box is the same as ours.
Yeah.
But I do think Juicy's is a little bit bigger.
He's a little bit smaller and he's faster, so he can probably get away with playing in a little bit bigger area.
He's insanely fast.
Yeah.
I saw an Instagram thing. You might have actually sent it to me. I don't know. I saw it this morning, and it was basically him. And it looked like it was a summer skate, and he was taking a bunch of breakaways. And I think it was like probably 6 or 7 breakaways in this like 60-second Instagram short. Mm-hmm. He was like, the guys were coming down and like making moves, whatever. Again, keep in mind summer skate, the pace wasn't what it usually is.
Yeah.
He was like remaining on his feet, reading the guy's what he's doing, when the guy was like almost in his blue paint.
Yeah.
He was like getting up and down when the guy was coming in.
That's the thing. I mean, that's the advantage of being a smaller goalie, relatively, is that you have smaller holes and you can get up and down faster.
Yeah.
So he could theoretically lift his knee faster to get his edge than Vasilevsky can.
Right. Yeah, definitely. But I would say most goalies his size aren't as quick as he is at doing that.
No. But that's why he's a top 5 goalie in the NHL.
Yeah.
He's at his size. He's not just in the NHL. His size.
He's
a top 5 goalie in the NHL. You and I think so. Didn't we just do an episode that had top 5 goalies and we had Juice in there, did we not?
No. I don't think so. I think we had him at 6.
Oh, okay. Well, he's a top 6 goalie in the NHL.
NHL Network thinks he's 9.
Who are our top 5? We had Igor, Vasi, Bob, Sorokin.
Don't do this to yourself. Don't do it. We had a whole podcast about this.
I know, but you got to remind me then, because who is 5?
We literally had a whole podcast about this. I'm trying to let you save yourself. I don't want to save you on this one.
Okay. Do you know?
Yes, I know. Yes, I know.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything then. I'm going to let you save me, because I'll say
Hellebuyck.
Oh yeah, duh. Yeah.
We literally just talked about him.
Yeah, but
that is such. You just did.
Yeah, but I think because he's so obvious to us,
it just went. Phew.
That we're like, hang on.
Yeah.
I got to think about the guys that I can't remember as much.
Yeah.
Which, in turn, ended in me missing a guy that I didn't remember.
Right. You're like, obviously he's on the list.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously Connor. Okay. Where are we going from there?
Can I list this off quick since we're on the topic? Is that gonna drive you nuts?
So what is this? What now we're looking at? What list are we looking at?
This is NHL Network's preseason top 10 goalies. You're gonna love this.
Am I gonna want to see this?
Yeah, I think it's okay. When I say you're not gonna love this, but this is gonna be refreshing for you if you just try and remember the 3 lists from Mike Vernon and Marty Brodeur and
the King
Henrik.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep those in mind while I read this off. This is better.
I don't have a lot of faith in these lists nowadays, but I'm excited.
But the top 3 you're gonna be smiling ear to ear, and then I don't know. We'll see.
I'll try to remain optimistic.
Number 1, Igor Shesterkin.
Okay.
Taste that, Mike Vernon.
It's already good.
Remember, Mike Vernon didn't have him in his top 5.
I don't remember that because that sounds physically impossible.
Remember when I said, is Mike Vernon the only person related to hockey that would not have Igor Shesterkin in his top 5?
I would think so.
I would think so too.
Are there can people comment on this and say if tell me Igor's not in your top 5?
There was an NHL head coach who was like, "Yeah, I totally get why that guy turned down $12 million."
Yes, I saw that. Oh no! Now you're gonna get me going. Now you're gonna get me going on something that I do not need to. That we need to talk about next time.
He wants 12% of the cap, but he didn't say he wants this year's cap.
Well, that's okay. That's fair, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Mike Rupp's comments on Igor. But we're going to talk about that a different time because I don't have time to get fired up about that at the moment.
That is true. That is going to be electric because we are both going to get fired up. We might get so fired up that Rupp might catch wind of it.
Tell Rupper he knows right where to find us, right?
I don't know.
Are you going to tell that guy he knows where to find you? Yeah, you would.
We're going to need Anthony Collins in this room when Rupper gets here. We're going to need to pay him. We would need to pay Collie, I think. But I'll do it. Okay?
Okay, so Igor's number 1, thank goodness.
Yeah, that's 1. Okay, 1 of 10. Number 2, Connor Hellebuyck.
All right, thank goodness.
Right?
Right.
Isn't this
looking
nice?
Good so far? Yeah.
This is great. Whoever made this,
wow.
I bet you know who works for NHL Network and probably didn't make this list?
Kevin Weeks?
Mike Rupp.
Yeah, there's no chance.
Number 3, Andrei Vasilevsky.
All right.
Did they spell his name wrong?
Oh, no.
Is there an I between the K and the Y?
Oh, yeah. Yep, there is.
Okay, moving on. Number 4. This is where I don't know. Okay. This is why I said you'll like this list relative to the other ones, but you're not going to love it. Jeremy Swayman.
He's good, but is he top 5? Are you kidding me?
Well, I want you just to remember that I haven't said Sergei Bobrovsky yet.
Right, or Sorokin.
Right.
What are we talking about so far?
Or
okay.
Juice.
Or Juice. Okay.
Or Jake Ottinger.
Or
Linus Ullmark.
Right.
Number 5, Ilya Sorokin.
All right, thank goodness.
Okay. I still haven't said Sergei Bobrovsky. Number 6, Thatcher Demko. Where does everyone get their obsession with Thatcher Demko? I don't understand.
I think he's good, but I wouldn't put him top 6 or 7.
I never would say he's not good. I think he's great. I don't think he's a top 10. Well, I shouldn't say that because I can't. I think on this list he would be number 10.
Yeah.
And that's without
probably
doing any thinking in my brain about the other NHL goalies that aren't on this list.
Right.
Number 7.
We haven't even gotten to who we not even gotten to yet. We haven't gotten to Philip Grubauer yet.
Right. He's also not on this list.
All right.
Number 7, Sergei Bobrovsky.
All right, I like that.
Sergei Bobrovsky is, in my opinion, actually, I'm not even going to say my opinion. Sergei Bobrovsky is better than Demko, Sorokin, and Swayman. How many Vezinas does he have?
I'd put him 2. I'd put him at probably better. I'd put him better than Swayman.
How many Stanley Cups does he have?
1. If we're talking just physical ability, him and Sorokin are pretty close to me.
You love Ilya because I know you love Bob.
I do, but watch. You got to watch Islanders games.
Okay, I will. That's another team with a great goalie that prides himself in defense.
Yes, usually because Barry Trotz is usually the coach, and that's why they're good.
And now it's Patrick Waugh.
Who
I actually don't really know his coaching style.
Me neither. Last thing I saw about Patrick Waugh was him telling his son to go down and fight the other goalie in the queue, I think. So I was like, yeah, that sounds like Patty Waugh.
Yeah, Patty Waugh had some screws
That's why we
loose.
love him.
Clearly still has screws loose.
Right.
I don't know if I would be able to look at Garner and be like, Garner, go fight that guy. I don't think I'd have that in me. I'd probably be like, Garner, sit here. I'm going to go fight that guy.
I'm going to go fight the other coach. Give me some.
Okay. So, yeah, I think we both can agree that we think Bobrovsky should be higher on this list. Like ahead of Thatcher Demko, right?
Yeah.
And
right.
Jeremy Swayman.
Show said Sorokin. Sorokin should be higher than both of those two.
Jeremy Swayman has 160 NHL games played. Bobrovsky has 400 wins, does he?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why this list is weird to me because we're not looking at track records. We're just looking at ability right now.
Yeah. Well, what
goalies right now?
Yeah. Well, this was prior to the season starting. This is August 8th.
But you can't look at Bob's cup and be like, oh, he's worse than Swayman.
Right.
In my opinion. And his 2 Vezinas.
You can't look at Bob at that point on August 8th of this year and be like, yeah, I'd rather have Thatcher.
No, there's no chance.
Like, get lost. Number 8, Jake Ottinger.
All right.
I think that's a good spot for him.
Yeah.
I think you could put him
Good
for
spot.
me anywhere between probably 8 and 12, and I'll be like, yeah, fine, whatever.
Yeah, he might be outside of top 10. I'd have to look at the list of every goalie. Okay.
All right. Number 9, Juicy Saros.
Sure. Yep. Juice is good.
I think that's as low as I would put him.
Yeah. He's good.
They're flirting with stupid on that one.
They are. That one's close.
Okay. Number 10. This one's interesting to me. Linus Ullmark. It's interesting to me because I don't know where I put him.
I don't know either. He's good. He's got a Vezina. That's more than Demko, Swayman, Sorokin, other guys on that list can say.
Now, I'm pulling up his stats for this year with in mind that this was prior to these stats. This was preseason by NHL Network. But he is 1-2 with a 335 and an 885.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. You're playing for the Ottawa Senators. They give up like 2 2-on-0s a period.
Why does Anton?
Yep.
Forsberg play more than Linus?
I don't know.
Linus just signed for almost $9 million.
Well, he's got to be hurt. Something's going on, right?
I guess. I don't know. Or what's his name? Forsberg?
Yeah.
It's just hot right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but he has an 885 save percentage, and Linus has like an 886.
Right. So they're flirting with the same.
Yeah, they're about the same, which is probably a 940 for like the Jets.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true. Team stat.
we're talking about the Ottawa Senators right now.
Yeah.
They don't play defense.
Do you feel the way about Ottawa that I feel about the New Jersey Devils?
Maybe.
You seem to not like them.
Well, I watched their highlights last year because Corpy's on the team, and he's go. Oh, here comes another 2-on-0. Oh, he made that save, but they scored on the rebound off the 2-on-0. So it's like,
Yeah.
what do you want me to do, man?
Mm-hmm. That's always tough when they bury a rebound on a 2.
Yeah.
It's like, is there a team out here today?
Yeah. Yesterday, the game last night against Colorado, I watched Timmy Stutzla go to a guy on the half wall who already has a D taking him. All they do is go low to high. Josh Manson beats him off the wall, goes to the middle, shoots it, squeaks through guys, and goes in. Like, that's another guy. Skilled. Does he know how to play in his own zone? I don't know. I don't watch the Senators enough. I just know they give up a lot of chances like that.
Sounds like he needs to go play for old Scotty Arneal in Winnipeg.
Yep.
Or Rick Bowness.
Or Rick Bowness. Or Barry Trotz.
Paul Maurice.
John Tortorella.
I think we're Tortorella guys. I am.
100%.
I love
Bob
John.
had 2 Vezinas under Tortorella.
Yeah.
That's not, that helps.
Yeah. Big
The
time.
Jackets played good defense.
Do you think a goalie can win a Vezina trophy being on a team that doesn't prioritize defense?
That's, to me, really difficult.
Has it ever been done?
I don't know.
Recent memory, Connor Hellebuyck,
Good defense.
Linus Ullmark.
Great defense.
Who'd be next? Connor Hellebuyck?
He's in there, but I don't think he was right before Linus. But maybe. Good defense.
Regardless, recent memory, he's in there somewhere, right?
Yep.
Who else we got?
Vassy had one.
On a team that won 2
Good
Stanley
defense,
Cups and went
yeah.
to the Cup like 3 or
Yeah.
4 times.
Igor.
Great.
Good defense.
I think great defense.
Yeah.
I love watching the Rangers defense, man.
Yeah, they're good.
What's you got Trouba, and there's 2 other guys that just play so heavy.
Keandre Miller.
Yep, and there's one more. Lindgren.
Keandre Miller's stick detail is crazy.
Yeah,
His stick on puck and taking lanes is insane.
And I think Lindgren.
I watched the other day like a 5-minute highlight reel of him just going stick on puck, and I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Safe to say either that guy was taught how to play hockey the right way or the Rangers head coach, which is who?
Well...
Was it the guy that used to be in Vegas? Oh my gosh, we should know
Not
this.
Bruce Cassidy.
No.
Bruce Cassidy's
Before.
Boston and in Vegas.
Before Bruce Cassidy in Vegas.
I don't know. I was brushing up on my Rangers goaltending coach history lore.
Say that again?
The Rangers goaltending coach history.
Okay.
You might like this, actually, because I looked this up the other day.
All right.
Guess who the Rangers goalie coach has been since 2004, and this is his first year not coaching them directly, but he's still a consultant.
I have no
Do
idea.
you know Benoit Allaire? We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Guess who Sean Burke's goalie coach was towards the end of his
Benoit
career
Allaire.
when he started like putting up really good numbers.
No
Yeah.
way.
So now I'm starting to go down the goaltending coach rabbit hole of did Benny Allaire teach Sean Burke how to play a certain way? And then Sean Burke did it, and now has been coaching other guys to do that. But it's really Benny Allaire originally. And has Benoit Allaire had good goalies? Like, has their Rangers goaltending been good over the past 20 years? Have they developed goalies well?
Oh, I don't know. Henrik Lundqvist?
You got Hank, and Georgiev was good when he was there.
Very good when he was there.
And then, I don't know, Igor after that. So
Best goalie in the world.
I would say since 2004, the Rangers have been in good hands as far as goalie coaching.
That's wild.
I knew you were going to like that connection.
I love that. You know where my brain immediately went?
Where?
It immediately went to now all the goalies that Sean Burke has coached, those guys should be goalie coaches. Mike Smith, Devin Dubnyk.
Yeah.
Carey Price?
Carey Price was coached by Sean Burke when he came over and made Carey Price better, which we've talked about before.
Which is insane, like we've mentioned.
Yeah. How do you make Carey Price better?
Jake Allen, who, by the way, let in a goal from the far blue line last week.
Been there?
Also been there. It is tough. Can we talk about this? Because actually I saw it in our game on Saturday with you. I don't know if it happened to you,
This
but
could be good or bad.
nothing happened. Nothing bad, nothing good happened. It was simply a rim around the boards.
Yep.
Sorry, around the glass behind your net.
Yep.
That I'm on the bench. It's in my end, so I should be able to see it, right?
Yep.
Lost it until it went all the way around and came right in front of me, like right before it got to me on the half wall over here.
Yep.
And it got off the glass and into the boards on the yellow. And
Okay.
I was like, where'd it go? And all of a sudden, like, whoa.
Especially in a lot of buildings, the background is dark, so it's hard to see the puck when it's ringed around.
I was just
rung around.
That was gonna be my point. Did you notice that, or did you have it? Did you track it?
I think I tracked it, but it was coming at me from a different angle. Remember, when you're looking at it, it's going across your eyes.
Yeah.
It's harder to see a puck sometimes going across your eyes than when it's coming at you.
Right.
The hard part about when it's coming at you is that it looks like it's sitting still in air when it's blending in with stuff, and then it just like hits you, or you lose it. That's the hard part about a puck coming at you when it's got a dark background.
Yes.
Which is almost every building.
A lot of buildings, some worse than others. So like if you're in a building that isn't necessarily, let's say, like sold out and there's barely anybody in the crowd, it's very difficult at times to track pucks moving that way because the seats are usually dark.
Yep. And then you have sometimes they'll shoot it, and right after they shoot it, a player will go right in front of where the puck is. So now the puck is blending in with their jersey and with the background behind them. And
it's like you pick it up. Usually you pick it up eventually, but it's like delayed.
It's hard to see. Yeah.
And that's like oh no.
It's scary. Yeah.
When you can't see the puck, it's terrifying. It doesn't matter if the puck's being shot in from the far blue or right in front of you.
Yeah.
But I think what happened to Jake Allen there was it was dumped in and it hit a stanchion by like maybe blue line.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily, in my opinion, I don't think from what I saw it was him losing the puck. It was more so that he left his net, timing it with what he thought he would arrive at the puck behind his net.
Yeah.
And he took his eyes off of it, not realizing it hit a stanchion about half the way down and popped out.
Well, you're looking up ice probably.
But I don't think he was.
Okay, so he just missed it.
Because if he was looking up ice, he would have been there.
I think we should make one point, and then we got to wrap this thing up.
Okay.
We got to go.
Yeah.
But when the puck is dumped in on the glass and there's stanchions, I think you should not come out of the net ever. Because there's too much that could go wrong versus the benefit of something going right. So when they dump the puck in and it's rung around the glass, it's probably a hard dump, first of all. What's the benefit? You go out, you manage to stop it on the glass, knock it down, then pass your defenseman, all while reading their pressure up ice. What could happen? Like what's the worst that could happen? You get scored on because you go out, it hits a stanchion, and it either goes right into your net, or if they're a good team, they have four checkers down the middle. It hits a stanchion, goes to the middle, and they put it in an empty net. Mm-hmm. Because your D are thinking we have possession, we're going to go back behind the goal line to retrieve a puck.
Right.
Their forwards aren't there yet. So I would say if the puck is rung around and it's in the glass, do not go out and play it.
Yep.
There is very little possibility of something going right. There is a higher possibility of something going really wrong.
Yeah. It's just it's unnecessary because of that reason. Like more often than not, what's going to happen on a play like that is it's going to go around. Probably it's going to make its way around the stanchions, and it's going to cause a battle on the weak side corner between your D-man and their F1.
Right. Now it's a corner battle. It's okay.
And you're just hanging out.
It's better than you go out, it bumps to the middle, their guy's wide open with it on his tape, shooting into a wide open net.
Yeah, I would say.
If it bumps to the middle to their guy regardless, it's a bad situation, but at least you're in the net and they might hit you.
Yeah.
You might make the save.
Yeah. Goalies, if the puck is in the glass, just don't go. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Right?
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen Carey go out, knock it down with his backhand, land on the ice, and pass it to his defenseman. Okay? But this is Carey. I'm not going to try to knock it out of the air against the glass like he does.
Majority of people listening right now are either not goalies or amateur goalies. And when I say amateur, I mean not Carey Price.
Yeah.
Okay? Just stay in your net.
Okay,
because you already can't play the puck.
I would tell every NHL goalie not to play it.
Those
are NHL goalies.
As would I. But some of those NHL goalies might be like, oh, yeah? Watch this.
Right.
Like, let's keep in mind, there's NHL goalies like Jordan Binnington who make one-touch passes with with his blade flipped over with the toe of his stick while the puck is on the yellow and puts it tape to tape hard, like a hard pass tape to tape to a guy on like the goal line.
Okay. I would never attempt that, but at the same time, I've never seen Carey Price attempt that either. And Carey Price was very smart play.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything like crazy and turn it over. He was very 10-foot pass on the tape. Mm-hmm. Defenseman's going to move it. We're gone.
I wonder if the boys back in the day like that didn't have to play with the trapezoid, that were sick puck handlers like Brodeur and Turco, whatever, what their rule of thumb was.
I don't know.
You know?
Yeah.
Like
you could come kill it in the corner if you wanted to back then.
Yeah.
Off the glass. But again, it's still dangerous. It's still dangerous.
I don't think you'd want to skate to the corner on one that's in the stanchions because now you're even further away from your net if something goes wrong. Right. But anyways, to your point, if it's in the glass, what if it's seamless?
Then maybe, but what are the odds you knock it down from ringing around the glass? And
I think you body it, and it's probably going to work out fine, but it's a higher percentage than what you want that it could go wrong.
I guess you body it, but then you body it. Now it's in your feet.
Yep.
Now you have to read pressure and figure out where to move it.
Yeah, but I think if it's that hard of a rim, you probably do have time to find it in your feet.
Okay.
But my point is, I still think it might not be worth it because it could hit your body and go.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You could hit it. It could hit you like the inside of your blocker and then go to the middle.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay,
now
here's a tap in.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're welcome.
So we can say with confidence, if it's in the glass, just stay in.
A hard rim in the glass, do not play it.
Watch me next game. I'll be like, I'll just go out there.
Watch this. Watch this.
Watch this. All right. I guess the thing that sucks about this today, Stu, is that we didn't get to our main point, and I'm gonna take the blame for that because I was like, I'm gonna put all these little points in front of our main point, so we can kill those off and then go nuts.
We never kill them off fast enough.
No, we don't. But I mean, we got through 4 or
that's
5
good.
Actually. 5.
That's good.
So, yeah, that's all we got.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
that's it.
Thank you.
We're back.
We got to get better at closing these things out.
Yeah, that's okay.
We got to get better at our NASCAR thanking our sponsors.
Yeah. I would just say thank you, everybody, for consistently listening and giving us feedback. That's huge.
Yeah, more feedback. More feedback, the better. Awesome. Anywhere. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, anywhere.
Yeah.
We see them all.
That's great. All right, thank you, guys.
Thanks.